So I have created a solid foundation with my base color, so the color that I associate with the object itself. And I did apply like a little on the heavier side of pressure in my shaded areas. So I'm going to go back and layer it with the blue and the dark green to really deepen those shadows a little bit, because when I layered on top of it, I lost it. So just layering is very important with this project, especially since we are doing it on black paper. But trust me, it will be very rewarding once you are completed with this project, because it just creates such a cool effect having such a colorful object on such a dark surface. So now go in with your darker colored pencils and reinstate those shadows. Use heavier pressure. Really start to layer in that darker shaded tone in those areas. Now, just so I can make a mental note for myself, I am going in and I'm blocking in my very highlighted areas using the white colored pencil. In a normal situation, I wouldn't be using white, but since we are using black paper for this project, the white really helps it create dimension and help the object pop off of the page. So I'm just blocking in where I have that main highlighted areas, and also it's kind of harder to see through the video, but I do have little curves of light where in those bump areas of the spout of the bottle that I chose. From this point, I will be transitioning between darkening up my shadows, darkening up my base tone, and then creating that highlighted areas. So that's what you'll see me. I'll be flipping through, switching colored pencils often. That is just how I prefer to work, by transitioning between color and color, because I might get bored just rendering one area completely. But you can just focus on one area and work your way down. Do what works best for you. But layering, transitioning between color to color can help create those darker shaded areas. What you just saw me do was I actually went over the white area using medium pressure to create more of the darker blue tone that I see on my image, but I will go back and layer it with the white and burnish that area a little bit more. So from this point, you will just see me transitioning back and forth between the variety of colored pencils that I have, but I will be ignoring the more finer details at the bottom until the very last moments. So I've created a solid base at the top of my drawing, so I am going to start to lightly go in at the bottom. I'm going in with my base color. You can also go in with a highlighted color to do those finer details. So on mine, it was more of like some organic shapes in the center of the base of the glass object, of the glass bottle. Yours could be in different areas than mine. but I'm going in and I'm blocking out those details. Later we'll go in and use our whites, the white colored pencil, and some of the darker tones to create a tonal variation between them by just using pressure and value. But right now you just see me blocking in the area. After I am done with that, I will apply just a thin layer of my base color on there just to create a foundation and to just solid up that area because right now it looks a little bit airy. So now I'm going to attempt to create the right shade to heavy up that area in the center. So I'm going to be layering between green and the teal color that I have present. This will just help create a solid base for my object. And then after this point, I am going to begin to render the details themselves. So in the more shaded areas of the composition, I'm going to be using a very sharp, darker colored pencil and layering my value in there. Then going over that with my base color, and then lastly touching on with that white colored pencil, layering over that again with my base color, and then creating the shadows. This is just the same shading that we did on the base of the colored pencil, just on a very small, very delicate scale. From this point on, just focus on getting the details done, completely rendering the object, getting all of those finer tuned details of the colored glass complete.